So this is Chapter 1, Lesson 3, Algebra, Variables, and Expressions. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to talk about some vocabulary. So in the X, okay, I have a blank is a symbol that represents an unknown quantity. In that blank, you're going to write variable. So a variable is a symbol that represents an unknown quantity. Then in the n+2, in the n and blank blank, such as n+2 is an expression that contains blank, blank, and at least one operation. So in this first two blanks, we're going to write algebraic expression. So an algebraic expression, such as n+2, is an expression that contains numbers, variables, and at least one operation. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is evaluating one-step equations. So the branch of mathematics that involves expressions with variables is called blank. In algebra, the multiplication symbol is often left out. So in this blank, you're going to write algebra. So the branch of mathematics that involves expressions with variables is called algebra. In algebra, the multiplication symbol is often left out. The letter x is often used as a variable. So you can see f times x is the same thing as f with the parentheses around it, x, which is the same thing as f(5x). The variables in an expression can be replaced with any number. Once the variables have been replaced, you can blank or find the value of the algebraic expression. In this blank, you're going to write evaluate. So the variables in an expression can be replaced with any number. Once the variables have been replaced, you can evaluate or find the value of the algebraic expression. When we're evaluating multi-step equations, to evaluate multi-step equations, replace each variable with the correct value and then follow the order of operations. Remember, your order of operations is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, okay, or PEMDAS. Either one you can use. All right, let's take a look at some examples. So, right to the right of the evaluating one step, we have a couple of examples we're going to look at. So the first example I have is evaluate 16 plus b if b equals 2. So 16 plus b, I'm going to substitute in what they've given me for b. So they said b equals 2, so I'm going to plug in 2 for b. So 16 plus 2 gives me 18, so I've evaluated my expression. Then I have evaluate x minus y if x equals 56 and y equals 12. So we're going to go ahead and plug in or substitute in for each of my variables. X is 56, y is 12, so 56 minus 12 gives me 44. The next one says evaluate x, 6x, if x equals 1/2. So I start with 6x, I substitute in what x equals, which is 1/2. 6 times 1/2 gives me 3. Then I have evaluate 5t plus 3 if t equals 4. So 5t plus 3, we plug in 4 for t, or substitute it in. 5 times 4, remember I have to do order of operations, so multiplication comes before addition. 5 times 4 gives me 20, plus 3 gives me 23. Then I have evaluate for x squared if x equals 1/9. So I substitute in 1/9 for my x variable. And I have to follow order of operations, so I have to do the square first, because that's what exponents. So 1/9 squared gives me 1/36. Then when I multiply 4 times 1/36, I get 1/9 when I simplify. Alright, the last one I have on this page is evaluate 25a squared plus 7 if a equals 1/5. So again, I want to go ahead and substitute in 1/5 for a. Okay. 25 times 1/5 squared plus 7 is my new equation. So I have to simplify using order of operations. 1/5 squared gives me 1/25. 25 times 1/25 gives me 1. Plus 7 gives me 8. On the next page, there are a couple of try it problems, along with a coloring page. So I want you to go ahead, pause the video, try them out, and then we'll go over the answers together. Alright, now that you've had a chance to try out the try it problems, let's go over the answers together. So number 1 says 9 plus x if x equals 5. So I substitute in x for 5, so I get 9 plus 5, which equals 14, which means I color anything that has a 1 in it on my coloring page blue. Okay. Number 2, x plus 14 if x equals 34. So that means it's 34 plus 14, which is 48, which means I color anything 2 with red. Number 3, 13x if x equals 5. So this is 13 times 5 equals 65. So I'm going to color anything with a 3 pink. For number 4, x equals 18 if x equals 36. 36 divided by 18 equals 2. So I'm going to color anything 4 with peach. Number 5, x minus 52 if x equals 95. So 95 minus 52 gives me 43, which is purple. Number 6, 39 plus 2x if x equals 25. So I have 39 plus 2 times 25. 2 times 25 is 50. So 39 plus 50 gives me 89, which is orange. Okay, the last couple of problems. Number 7, 2x minus 14 if x equals 7. So I have 2 times 7 minus 14. 2 times 7 is 14, so 14 minus 14 equals 0. So I'm going to color 7's green. Number 8, 39 divided by x if x equals 13. 39 divided by 13 gives me 3. So I color anything with an 8 black. Number 9, 8x minus 88 if x equals 12. So 8 times 12 minus 88. When I simplify this, I get 8, so red. Number 10, 3x plus 5 if x equals 10. 3 times 10 is 30, plus 5 gives me 35, so yellow. 4x divided by 12 if x equals 9. So 4 times 9 over 12, which is 36 over 12, which is 3. So I color anything with 11 red. Number 12, x squared minus 16 if x equals 10. So 10 squared minus 16, so 100 minus 16, which gives me 84. And then you should be able to color the picture that's on page 15. And that is the end of lesson 3.